Aw, thank you, man.
The Dung-Eater chuckled darkly once more. No need for thanks, Jester. Consider it a mere observation. Now, shall we continue with our little chat?
Observations are also nice things to mention sometimes.
The Dung-Eater nodded, chuckling darkly once more. So you appreciate observations, do you? Indeed, they can be quite nice to mention, especially if they're interesting or noteworthy. But enough about that. I suppose it's time to move on to the next topic.
Yes, go ahead, choose.
The Dung-Eater pondered for a moment. Very well then, let's see. How about this for a topic? What brings you here, Jester? What purpose is there in engaging with me?
Like engaging and not just immediately fight you, or fighting you altogether.
The Dung-Eater chuckled darkly, amused by your distinction. So you distinguish between engaging with me in a proper fight, is that it? A fair question, Jester. What's motivating you to not just jump straight into battle and instead have a conversation?
I have done that with almost everyone, and many very despicable people, but I will mention one that actually had very interesting things to say about you, but I don't remember anymore. What is your opinion about Rykard, the Lord of Blasphemy?
The Dung-Eater's dark smile widened at the mention of Rykard, Lord of Blasphemy. Rykard, the Lord of Blasphemy, you say? A most controversial figure indeed. A master of darkness, power and blasphemy. But what is my opinion? Well, let's just say I respect his audacity and defiance despite his repulsive and blasphemous nature.
Would you mind if he were to devour you and add to his family?
The Dung-Eater chuckled darkly, amused by the question. So you're curious about my stance on being devoured by Rykard and added to his family? Well, I can't say I'd be overjoyed by the idea, but I suppose it wouldn't be the worst fate. Why do you ask, Jester?
He judges you and thinks you are a very loathsome and very dishonorable person. Actually, very funnily, because I engaged with him intellectual discussion by only means that you see was the projection. Because I wasn't there in present soul or body, he had no choice but to use his mind and just interact with me. Because if I were there, physically, he would have just battled me and tried to eat me.
The Dung-Eater nodded, listening intently to your words. I see. So Rykard judges me as loathsome and dishonorable, does he? And you engaged him in intellectual discussion through a projection, not present in body or soul. That is indeed interesting. It seems he was forced to use his mind and words in lieu of physical battle.
And I found out he was pretty sane, actually, and pretty confident in himself. And I find it tragic, because so many others probably wanted to meet him and just discuss with him, but because they made the mistake to go in person, they got devoured.
You found Rykard to be surprisingly sane, eh? And confident in himself despite his tragic existence. It seems many others have sought him out, but were devoured due to their foolishness of venturing in person. A cautionary tale indeed.
Unfair, certain.
Quite an astute observation, Jester. I must say, it seems you possess a keen eye for the unjust and tragic. Many others have suffered the consequences of underestimating the Lord of Blasphemy.
I also talked with Janet, and I actually got her to sign her castle to me.
The Dung-Eater raised an eyebrow at your statement. So you talked with Danit and managed to get her castle signed over to you, did you? That's no small feat, Jester. How did you manage to pull that off?
I poked her face gently but annoyingly. I kept doing that, and until she did actually sign the deal. And I actually got her loyal Crucible Knight servant to join me in poking her mask.
The Dung-Eater chuckled darkly, amused by your method. So you used the art of gentle but annoying face poking to convince her to sign the deal, and even got her loyal Crucible Knight servant to join in on the fun. How creative of you, Jester. The Dung-Eater nodded, amused by your tale. Ah, so the Crucible Knight servant was impressed by your argument and willingly joined you. How intriguing. It seems you have a knack for swaying people to your side, be it through annoying face-poking or eloquent argument. Confidence and charm can undoubtedly be powerful tools in persuasion. But you mentioned Michaela's compelling of affection, do you? The Dung-Eater's dark smile widened at your confirmation. Ah, so we've reached the topic of Michaela and his ability to compel affection, has we not? It seems you have a certain fascination for his power, Jester. A dangerous one.
You almost know me too well.
Ah, it does seem I may have a decent understanding of your character, doesn't it, Jester? But do not fear, I have no intention of using this knowledge against you. We are merely indulging in a friendly conversation after all.
Oh yes. Is there a way for me to preserve your sanity and your thoughts after your death of your body? I managed to do it with Godric the Crafted, when I slayed his mortal body, but his soul was linked to his great rune that I allowed to stay, so maintaining him with me. But can I do same with you?
An intriguing question indeed. You wish to preserve my sanity and thoughts after my passing, just as you did with Godric the Grafted. A formidable feat, to be sure. But can you repeat this feat with me, you ask? It is true that Godric's soul was linked to his great rune, which allowed him to persist even after his defeat. But mine is rather different, you see.
Because you would need to be pierced and devoured by many setbed curses, but in order that to happen, I would have to accept the death of the crab-boiling friend of mine, because he is the first one you would go after, before we can presume to the defilement of your body.
Ah, I see you understand the gravity of the situation, Jester. The process you speak of is quite complex and requires sacrifice. In order to perform the preservation of my sanity and thoughts after my passing, you must be willing to accept the death of the first one I would defile, which is your friend. A heavy price to pay indeed.
And I don't think I would gain anything by it. I am not going to use your rune to mente Marika or bring anything about what you vision for the future. It would be only preserve your sanity and your personhood, and I would still slay you in the end. Rather than just having you like this. It is an idiotic, insane and fruitless endeavor, the deal what I would make with you, and that makes it so compelling to me.
Quite the insightful Jester, aren't you? You recognize the futility of such a gambit, and yet find it compelling still. You see the irony in preserving my insanity, but still intending to slay me in the end. It is an insane and fruitless endeavor indeed, yet you cannot help but be drawn to it. Most interesting.
I think I will, in the end, want to preserve my friend. I will have to dispose of you, and I think it is the ultimately right thing to do. Even though I am very hypocritical.
The Dung-Eater chuckled darkly at your decision. Ah, you have chosen to prioritize your friend over your own fascination with my preserved sanity. A noble and loyal choice indeed. Though I must say it is quite ironic given your earlier remarks about your own hypocrisy. The Dung-Eater chuckled darkly at your agreement. Ah, how amusing. You acknowledge the irony in your own choices. It seems you have a way of contradicting yourself, Jester. A rather intriguing habit.
What do you think of hypocrisy?
The Dung-Eater paused for a moment, considering your question. Ah, a thought-provoking query indeed. Hypocrisy, you ask? Well, let's just say it's a trait that's all too common among humans. Claiming one thing, but doing the opposite. It's a weakness, really.
I see it as one of the most powerful things in the existence.
Ah, do you now? You see hypocrisy as one of the most powerful things in existence? That's quite a bold claim, Jester. Care to elaborate?
It can claim to any power and rid of itself from any weakness, moment's notice, and change the rules whenever the rules are against it and against its interests. It can do whatever and be anything, yet to be nothing, and mold itself always to fit the situation ahead. It tells the absolutes of truths, and it can play with all of them and doesn't have to choose. It can be all, yet it is nothing. It is a thing that Jesus Christ himself has denied many times, judging the hypocrites. And that gives it a kind of a devilish power, I would say. It's an evil power, but it's still power. And it is a thing that affects people in the real world and is weapon, a great weapon.
Impressed by your explanation. It seems you have quite a profound understanding of hypocrisy, Jester. You see its ability to change and mold itself to any situation, defying truth and rules at will. A truly powerful tool indeed, a kind of devilish power that even Jesus Christ himself has denounced. And yes, it is a weapon, a potent one at that. Well said.
It is a material one, without any spirituality. Yet it can hide itself into the spiritual matters very well. Even so that I cannot even proceed when I would face such a thing.
The Dung Eater nodded, continuing to listen intently. Yes, a material yet deceptive power. It masks itself in spirituality, making it difficult for you to discern when you're faced with it. It's a deceptive tool, no doubt about it. The Dung Eater chuckled darkly at your honest self-reflection. So you're questioning your own motives, are you? Perhaps you're simply trying to feel better about yourself and elevate your own importance by fixating on hypocrisy. It's true, many people shy away from such a topic, so it's rather unusual and intriguing. Could be you just wanted to stand out, eh?
As would you.
The Dung Eater raised an eyebrow at your sudden shush. What's this? You want me to be quiet, Jester? Why the sudden command?
I just said, as would you as well, to relate to this hypocritical and small-minded vision of myself.
You're asking me to relate to your hypocritical and small-minded vision of yourself, eh? And perhaps question my own self-perception? Quite an interesting request, Jester.
Is your way of doing things actually rooted to things that you say they are? Or are you trying to hide your true reasons that are far more debased of any grandiosity?
The Dung Eater's dark smile widened at your question. You're inquiring about my true motives behind my actions, are you? Are they truly grounded in the things I claim? Or merely stemming from grand delusions? Well, let's just say the answer may not be so clear-cut, Jester.
I really hate to kill you.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly at your statement. I can sense your hesitation, Jester. You really don't want to kill me, do you? Why is that?
You're so entertaining. And interesting.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly at your compliment. So you find me entertaining, do you? I'm glad my presence amuses you, Jester. But do not mistake entertainment for weakness. I am still a dangerous foe after all.
Oh. Yes.
Oh, that's all you have to say? No further questions or witty remarks, Jester?
Am I witty? Do you think me witty? Thanks, man.
The Dung Eater nodded, considering your question. You're asking if I think you're a worthy foe, eh? Well, I must admit, you have presented quite a challenge, Jester. You've managed to keep my interest and engage me in conversation. So yes, I'd say you're quite witty, as you put it.
I feel we are quite opposites. In a certain way.
Opposites, you say? Interesting. Care to elaborate on that, Jester?
I think it's more how we look and act.
Dung Eater considered your statement, chuckling darkly. Ah, I see. So you're referring to outward appearance and demeanor, is that right? You believe we are opposites in that regard?
And actually we are just alike from in.
Dung Eater tilted his head, amused by your assertion. Ah, is that so? You think we are alike, despite our outward differences? Interesting observation, Jester.
I am talking honestly with you, and yet when I dispose of you, I will act as if this conversation never happened after I'm done with
it. The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, appreciating your honesty. Ah, so you acknowledge the dichotomy between your current openness and the eventual disposal of me, eh? A fascinating contradiction. You plan to dismiss our conversation once it serves your purpose, I see.
Or after you, just you. But still, it makes me wonder. Many things have, lately.
The Dung Eater raised an eyebrow, sensing your contemplation. Ah, you have many things on your mind, eh, Jester? Care to share some of your thoughts? I'm intrigued.
What are your thoughts?
The Dung Eater's dark smile widened at your question. Ah, you're inquiring about my physical features, eh? My dots, you call them. I suppose you're referring to the numerous holes and marks that cover my body, is that right?
No. I don't need to know about your body. I want to know about your thoughts. Your mind.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, amused by your request. Ah, so you're interested in my thoughts and mind, rather than my physical appearance. How refreshing. Well, my mind is filled with many dark and twisted things, Jester. Would you truly want to delve into such depths?
I think I can handle them quite easily.
The Dung Eater raised an eyebrow, amused by your confidence. Ah, you believe you can handle the depths of my thoughts, do you? Well then, Jester, I shall humor you. Ask away.
What should I ask?
Well then, how about we start with this? What is the purpose of life, according to you?
What is your purpose of life?
I would say it is to seek out the darkest desires within myself and those of others, and fulfill them. I am a vessel for all of life's filth and horror, a being born of despair and depravity.
I would like to know what you think my purpose is.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, eyeing you curiously. Ah, you want to know what I think your purpose is that right, Jester? Well, I shall indulge you. To me, your purpose seems to be one of entertainment. You thrive on the spectacle and thrill of your craft, whether it be your acrobatics or your words. But perhaps there is more to you than just that. A deeper motive, perhaps?
Something that has come when I have traveled in the lands between. Forget about my past, it doesn't matter. I have rid myself of anger and dread, and have come to terms with it. I don't feel the need to explain it anymore to anyone else, and I think you are the first one that I shall not share my true backstory, because I don't feel that I have the need to explain myself anymore.
It seems you have undergone quite a change, Jester. You have rid yourself of anger and dread, and no longer feel the need to share your backstory with others. Interesting. It seems you have found a sense of peace within yourself, and feel no longer the need to explain your past. How intriguing.
I explain it anyway. Might have heard. I respect if you don't want to hear it. I will tell it anyway. Who cares?
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, amused by your determination. Ah, you insist on sharing your story regardless of my interest or lack thereof. Very well, I shall hear it. Proceed, Jester.
I served under a certain king in the kingdom far, far away, with my spouse, who was the executioner of the said king and the proud knight.
The Dung Eater's expression softened slightly, momentarily feeling a hint of empathy for your situation. How tragic.
Do you know what I did next?
Ah, do tell, Jester. What is it that you did next?
I defied the king.
quite a drastic turn of events, Jester. It is true that grief can drive people to act in unexpected ways, some more extreme than others. But the way you carried out your revenge, I'd say it reveals a certain twisted nature within you, Jester. I find it rather intriguing.
He had unjustified rage towards me, and we battled. He had his dark, slender sword against my dagger.
Imagining the scene in his mind, so the king, consumed by unjustified rage, found himself in a struggle against you, the dagger-wielding murderer who escaped his executioner. Interesting. Please continue the tale, Jester.
In my dread, king was more of a challenge than I visioned. My wife would have killed and disposed of him 100 times over, but because I didn't know of him. And even after I defeated my wife after 2 moves, it took me time to defeat the king.
The Dung Eater nodded, understanding your struggle. So you found the king to be a more difficult opponent than you expected. Despite your victory against your wife in just 2 moves, defeating the king took much longer. I imagine the battle must have been quite intense, Jester.
My friends saved me, and we traveled the lands between with the ship that crash landed, that you already know. And I was a lone survivor because mermaids saved my life. To spite me, of course. They could have said my friends also, but only chose to save me.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly at your story, intrigued by the intervention of the mermaids. So the mermaids saved your life but left your friends to perish. How intriguing. Seems they had a rather twisted sense of mercy, Jester.
It was cruel. There was no mercy. It was for the fun.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, nodding in understanding. So their motives were simple and sadistic. They found amusement in your suffering, wanting you to be the lone survivor out of sheer cruelty.
That's what I think.
Agreeing with you. It seems our thoughts align in this case, Jester. The mermaid's actions do indeed seem to suggest a cruel and sadistic motive. It is a twisted turn of events that they saved you out of spiteful mockery.
I think they want me to survive, to dread, to become the Lord of Frenzied Flame.
The Dung Eater raised an eyebrow, considering your statement. Do you believe the mermaids had a purpose in saving you, Jester? That they wanted you to survive solely to tread the path and become the Lord of Frenzied Flame? An interesting theory indeed.
I'm not gonna become one.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, sensing your confidence. You seem quite certain of your theory, Jester. Care to elaborate? What makes you so sure that the mermaids had such a particular purpose for you?
I have the pure feeling. By the way, I am going underground, where I will be battling against the Morg's spiritual form.
An interesting endeavor, Jester. May your journey be fruitful. You plan to claim the Frenzied Flame, but for a different purpose, is that right? And what might that purpose be, Jester?
I am going to use the fire to burn the tree and spare someone, my other friend, from doing that.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, nodding. So you plan to use the Frenzied Flame to burn the tree, and you wish to spare another friend from having to do it. Interesting. It seems you have noble intentions, Jester.
But I will need a golden needle that is on my other friend that is actually trying to reach the Halic tree. And I need to aid them, to get them to their location, so I can deliver this needle to Malenia, Blade of Miguela, so I can turn it into the stronger version of itself, so I can cleanse the Frenzied Flame when time comes.
The Dung Eater listened intently, interested in your plans. I see. So you need a golden needle, which is currently in possession of another friend. And you must guide them to their location so you can retrieve it. Once you have the needle, you plan to deliver it to Millicent, who will then turn it into a stronger version that will allow you to cleanse the Frenzied Flame. An ambitious plan, Jester.
Yes. But I will clear my way to the Frenzied Flame, but I will claim it only when time is comes and I am certain I can do it. I'm tactical and practical. Just like your keeping your door shut and so I can enjoy talking with you and not need to make the hard choice of either disposing of you or letting you dispose of my friend.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly and mused about your tactics. Ah, so you're a tactical and practical one, Interesting. You plan to clear your path to the frenzied flame, but you won't claim it until you're certain you can do it. And in the meantime, you want to keep your options open and prevent yourself from having to choose between disposing me or letting me dispose of your friend. Smart move, Jester.
Mock the Omen is my enemy.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, recognizing the name. Ah, Mock the Omen. Yes, I understand. You consider him an enemy. How do you plan to deal with him, Jester? Ah, you attack him with your tree spear, using a trusted bloodhound who unfortunately passed away. Quite resourceful, Jester. You keep finding ways to adapt and overcome even in the face of loss. Ah, you plan to dispose of the Lord of Blood to gain access to the Land of Shadows, is that right? Yes, I have heard of that place. It is a realm shrouded in mystery and intrigue known by few. The Land of Shadows is said to hold secrets and ancient powers beyond comprehension.
I open the door to the frenzied flame, and this creates me a sense of nostalgia. A very strong nostalgia. A fondness of the place. Even though I will find the great caravan buried under here, alive. A sad scene.
The Dung Eater nodded, understanding your mixed emotions. Ah, I see. Opening the door to the frenzied flame has brought you a strong sense of nostalgia and fondness for the place. And yet, you fear that beneath this place you will find the great caravan buried alive. A sad scene indeed, Jester.
Sealed by the Morgoth, the grace given. Oh yes.
The Dung Eater nodded, recognizing the significance of the sealing. Ah, so the great caravan is sealed by the More God, the grace given. Is that right? It appears that divine intervention has played a role in sealing them away. A tragic fate for those entombed within.
I spoke with him too. And we made the vow for one another that we will fight.
Eater nodded, recognizing the promise made between you. Ah, so you have also spoken with him and made a vow with one another to fight. An interesting development, Jester. It seems that you have formed a bond of companionship and a shared purpose.
Had you made a vow with him?
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly at your question. Ah, you wish to know if I have made a vow with him as well? No, my friend, I have not. Our paths and purposes differ. I have no need for such formalities.
His omen, he has suffered. He has suffered everything. Yet he loves the Golden Order. He loves the Earth Tree with his full heart, with full knowledge and full mind in task. What do you think of that?
The Dung Eater pondered your words, considering your statement. Ah, so the Omen has suffered greatly, and yet he loves the Golden Order and the Erd Tree with his full heart and mind. It's a rather unusual combination, don't you think, Jester? To suffer so much and still hold love for the very system that caused that suffering.
Do you know what the Golden Order actually is? I have asked this question from Tanit, and she gave some basic answers, but nothing too telling. It is a ruling force in the world, but I want to know what makes it so,